Isn't it crazy how YouTube boxing has become so successful? Ever since this became a reality, millions of individuals have now become interested in the sport of boxing. Welcome to the Fight Fanatics, where we will analyze, discuss, and study upcoming fights, giving predictions and updates. Point 1. Who started YouTube boxing? Now straight to the point. Fact number 1. You may be guessing who started the whole concept of YouTube influencer boxing. Was it KSI, Logan Paul, or shall we say Jake Paul? Haha, nope. In fact, the person who started this whole thing was Joe Weller. To keep it short and simple, Joe Weller had a boxing spar with Theo Baker, which went viral with over millions of views, and once it did, KSI commented he'd fight the winner, indirecting that he'd fight Joe Weller. What's crazy is this all started off as a joke from KSI in 2017, and Joe Weller didn't take this very well. This became super heated between them, and it led to them having a boxing fight which took place on the 3rd of February 2018 and had a massive build up to it. The good news is KSI was victorious by a 3rd round TKO, which he then called out Jake and Logan Paul.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care, bring it.
And from there onward, more celebrities wanted to participate in boxing, and henceforth from this day, YouTube boxing became internationally well known. Now moving on to point number 2, how KSI saved Logan Paul's career, and in the process of doing this, how the whole concept of YouTube boxing became internationally well known. As soon as KSI called out the Paul brothers, the trash talk was most certainly entertaining. After KSI made his notorious call out to the Paul brothers, Logan Paul accepted the challenge, which led to a heated build-up. The trash talk between KSI and the Paul brothers was most certainly entertaining.
Fuck the Pauls! 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 Fuck the Pauls!
And this was something Logan Paul had to accept, as fighting KSI was a win-win situation, as in late 2017, in December, he made a video which upset millions of people, and he was literally the most hated person on the planet, and fighting KSI was an opportunity for him to redeem himself and to save his career. At the time, in order for Logan to redeem himself, he had no choice but to fight KSI, as people wanted to literally see him get beaten up. What makes the situation even more shocking is, it came to a point where in the London press conference, KSI's fans were brutally insulting Logan and were willing to attack him as well. The build-up was most certainly entertaining, so on the August 25th, 2018, when they finally fought in the ring, they had their first bout ending in a draw, which upset millions of fans around the world. This then became the most anticipated rematch of all time. People were so angry, and because of the figures it generated in the first fight, Matchroom Boxing, who is owned by Eddie Hearn, agreed to making this rematch a professional fight where professional boxers who have been in the scene for a very long time and are in the top level, such as Billy Joe Saunders and Devin Haney, were included in the undercard as well. The point is, KSI and Logan Paul, despite being YouTubers, had more recognition than the actual boxers who have been known for such a long time, and for the first time in history, influencers took over actual fighters, and there was a whole debate about this at the time it happened. Before moving on to point 3, I will just address that KSI was the winner of the rematch between Logan Paul in a split decision. Now, point 3, influencer boxing events you may have not heard about. Social Gloves was made by Ustin McBroom, known as the Ace family, and they made an event called YouTube vs TikTok Boxing in June 2021. 7 bouts had taken place in this event, and it generated over millions of views and over 100,000 pay-per-views that were bought for this event. The fun fact in this point is, all of the YouTubers slept the floor with the TikTokers in this event, with the exception of Deji, who had lost by TKO against Winnie Hacker unfortunately. This event was very controversial, as Anison Gibb was robbed when this was his redemption fight after his loss to Jake Paul. Luckily, this result was disputed, and it turned out that Gibb was then awarded the win for the fight against Taylor Holder. Isn't it crazy how as a boxer you could work so hard and not get the credit that you deserve? Now, let's move on to point 4, how KSI fought 2 fights in one night, and this wasn't the plan in the first place. So due to COVID-19, KSI took a 3-year break from boxing before eventually deciding it was time to return to the squared circle for a few warm-up fights before the ultimate showdown between him and Jake Paul, which is currently set to take place at the end of the year in 2023. KSI was set to face Alex Wasabi on August 2022 to avenge the loss for his brother Deji, and to also get rid of ring rust, as he's been out of the boxing ring for over 3 years. However, a couple of weeks before the fight, Alex Wasabi suffered a concussion, leading to him pulling out of the fight. And because KSI did not want to disappoint his fans, this is what led to KSI having 2 fights in one night against Swarms and Pineda, which he put on a great performance and won both of the fights by TKO. Now finally, point number 5, the 2 top influencer boxers before you knew them in YouTube history. Slim. I'm sure many of you guys know him, but when did he first get into the influencer boxing scene? This was against YouTuber FusyTube on September 2019, and this match was truly brutal with Slim winning by TKO, leaving Fusy with a broken nose. From this point on, Slim found his love for boxing and fought the likes of influencers such as Amir Fatuhi, FaZe Temper and Tom Zanetti, and is now a well-known character in Misfits boxing and crowned the light heavyweight champion. Last but not the least, Salt Papi. Salt Papi, I'm sure many of you guys have heard of him, but how many of you know his real name is Busta Breezy? Salt Papi is a TikTok star with millions of followers and has now become an influencer boxer. His first fight was not too long ago on March 2022 against an internet comedian Halal Ham, which he won by unanimous decision and left everybody shocked as nobody knew about him. He would then get signed to Misfits Boxing, where he had the fastest knockout in influencer boxing history, which was against Andy Wolski in just 15 seconds.
Salt Papi has some of the best hands.
And this had impressed everybody. There's definitely going to be another video that we will make about Salt Papi and about his boxing history, but to make it short, Salt Papi fights like a fighter who has had over 100 amateur fights, but it appears when in reality that's nowhere near the case. But the question that now arises about Salt Papi is, can he still perform the way he does when he goes against opponents that are much more experienced in boxing? As the truth about Salt Papi is, he literally started boxing properly at the time of December 2021. So if he can continue this and perform better, do you think we'll be able to see him with fighters such as Slim, KSI and Jake Paul? Definitely comment below and let us know about your views. This is the end of the video. I truly hope you have enjoyed our content. Please do subscribe, share and definitely comment. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.